So guys, I'm pretty excited to try this out. This will be my first time ever using an Alaskan chainsaw mill. So I got it in the mail yesterday. I got it assembled. I'm going to put it on my chainsaw shortly, and you guys get to see me making my first cut with this thing. So stay tuned. All right, so you have to start to get a straight cut the first time. You gotta start with these brackets. So unfortunately, my boards that I was going to use for a guide were too short to use the brackets. So I just screwed the boards down on top. This is just me testing this thing out, so I'm not worried about getting everything perfect. So even just screwing the boards down, they weren't even close to level or anything like that. This process went pretty easy. I will say it would be nice to have an elevated platform to have these on, so I don't have to bend over so much. And then I noticed as I got along here, it started to kind of bind a little bit, so I went and got these wedges I had and kind of lifted the log behind it, and that really helped finish that log, that first cut off. But I was very pleased with how it turned out. So before I went on to my next cut, all I had to do was lower the gap down. I had it set pretty big because I didn't want to hit the screws that I'd screwed them boards down on the top. But now I'm setting it to about 1.5 inches, and then I get going. And we use this time we don't have to have those guide boards because the top of the log is already flat. So once the top of the log's already flat, this just slides right along. And this time I also put the wedges in kind of as I went, and I'm trying it different ways, going in front of it, behind it. Honestly, I don't know that either way was much different from the other. I noticed my chain was getting pretty hot, so I put some more bar oil just in case, and it was low, so I don't want to get it overheated and dull it too quick. So. And then here I realized I just didn't quite have enough room to make it past the thickest end of the log. So we had to adjust that end bracket out just about 1 inch to the very tip of the chain, or to the very tip of the bar. And that gave us just enough to clear it. But the log's too thick in the middle. Of course, I mean, we don't really need this thick, these wide of a board, so what we ended up doing was just turning it and going the other direction on this next cut. And I didn't even use a guide board on it. I just followed the edge of the wood, and it ended up doing pretty good. I was very pleased with it. Of course, you can use the brackets and levels and squares and make all of this perfect, but I'm just playing with it today, so I'm not really too concerned with what this ends up looking like. But even so, just using it as is, I was very pleased with how all of this turned out, and I'm excited for the next project. Okay, so that was pretty fun, but I don't really have that long to work on it today. And honestly, I don't know what project I'm going to use this lumber for, so I need to decide what I'm going to use it for before I cut any more, because I don't want to be wasteful. I don't want to cut stuff that I'm going to end up not being able to use, or you know. So I'm going to put this up for the day, and when I decide on the next project to use my my own rough cut lumber, we'll catch you on that video. So if you got tips, if I'm doing something like really stupid, please put it in the comments, or if you just
whatever. I don't know. Put it in the comments, and we'll see you on the next one.